War begins. China urgent Russia sends 50 warships to attack U.S. Navy in South China Sea. A senior Chinese diplomat took aim at Washington and its Indo-Pacific partners amid rising tensions in the disputed waters. Beijing has dialed up the pressure on its Southeast Asian neighbors ahead of key talks in the South China Sea dispute, with a senior diplomat warning them against backing U.S. efforts in the region. The Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam and Brunei, members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, have competing territorial claims with China and one another in the resource-rich waterway. These countries are increasingly torn between China and the United States amid a growing risk of an all-out confrontation in the region. Tensions in the waters have escalated during a flurry of recent military activity by the feuding superpowers. The U.S. has no claims in the region but has ramped up its patrols in the disputed waters. Luo Zhaohui, China's deputy foreign minister for Asian affairs, said the U.S. was the root of the problems in the South China Sea. At a seminar on Wednesday, Luo accused the U.S. of trying to force countries in the region to take sides between Beijing and Washington. A troubled South China Sea only serves the interests of the U.S. and its global agenda, while countries in the region have to bear the costs, he told the gathering of retired government officials and maritime and legal experts from the region. The U.S. has become the biggest threat to peace in the South China Sea and the entire region. In recent weeks, Beijing has scrambled to shore up ties with countries in Asia and Europe as fears grow of a new Cold War between the world's two biggest economies. But observers said Beijing's tough remarks on Washington may be counterproductive as it continues negotiations with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, on a code of conduct in the South China Sea. The talks, which resumed on Thursday after being delayed by the COVID-19 pandemic, began in 2002 but have stalled over Beijing's insistence that countries outside the region be excluded, an apparent reference to the U.S. Luo's remarks may appeal to the audience in China. His harsh rhetoric against the U.S. is unlikely to help Beijing's case ahead of these crucial talks on the Maritime Code of Conduct, said Zhang Mingliang, a Southeast Asian affairs expert at Jinan University in Guangzhou. Tensions in the waters neared boiling point after U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in July rejected China's claims to up to 90% of the South China Sea as completely unlawful, lending support to rival claimants Vietnam, Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia and Taiwan. Speaking by video link at an international seminar hosted by the Chinese Foreign Ministry and a state-backed think tank on Wednesday, Luo took aim also at Washington's allies and partners in the Indo-Pacific. Apart from its interference in the South China Sea, the U.S. established the Quad, an anti-China front line also known as the mini-NATO. This reflects the Cold War mentality of the U.S., Luo said, referring to the U.S.-led quadrilateral grouping with Japan, Australia and India. On Monday, U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Stephen Biegun said Washington was open to expanding the four-nation bloc to other like-minded countries. Pompeo last year said the Quad was aimed at putting China back in its proper place. Zhu Feng, who attended the seminar as executive director of the China Center for Collaborative Studies of the South China Sea at Nanjing University, said Beijing was under unprecedented political, diplomatic and military pressure from Washington. With the U.S. elections approaching, the embattled Trump administration has deliberately raised tensions with China to revive his troubled re-election campaign, exacerbating the risk of conflict in the South China Sea, he said. South China Sea is in real danger of sparking all-out conflict after decades of isolated incidents in the disputed waters.